What up, what up, what up? Bouncing to this reggaeton from next door. What's happening? What's happening? Super Bowl Sunday. What's good? What's good? I need somebody to pop up. Come on now. Come on, get in here. This is about to get real ugly. This is about to get real ugly. Yo, where's Spiro? All right, somebody just jumped in there. Who that? Oh, Jonathan. What's up, bro? Yo, man. Yo, sorry for your dad, baby. Let me get that wave. Sorry for your dad, man. Heart goes out to the Pacheco family. We lost the dad, you know what I'm saying? His dad is our dad, you know. That's Red Hook. His dad was our dad in my building, 465. You know what I'm saying? Sorry for the loss. Keep the family strong, yo. Keep the family strong, all right? All right? Yeah, yes, peace and love. You know, always. So, I'm trying to go at it, you know what I'm saying? But I did a little math yesterday, and the real deal is this. Based on the process of due process, so I'm not going to talk no trash. I'm going to go and get the definition under law, which is you got the due course of law, then you got due process, right? And due process is the fundamental procedure, safeguards that ensures that every citizen has the right to have a proper hearing in court of law before being deprived of any life, liberty, or property pursuant to a governmental decree. Also see the 5th and 14th Amendments to U.S. Constitution. You got to understand that, all right? But we're going to come out of that and we're going to go to due process of law. Is this law in the regular course of administration through courts of justice? Now, because we have that, let me establish that. We're going to go to the number one deal. Based on the incident that occurred within the employer's paid parking lot on the grounds, city property, and that the officer did report the incident to the two captains, the tour commanders. And the two tour commanders told him, hey, go up to human resources and see the EEO official and file a complaint because that's discrimination. Granted. Now, the EEO, once you go to them, or the EEO official and the facilities EEO official falls under the corporate compliance policy of how to file a complaint, such as violation of the corporate compliance policy. You speak to a supervisor or management. Now, the officer already spoke to the supervisors, the captains, and they said go see the EEO. So that would be somebody in management, right? Cool. Now, what comes into play is the due process. Let me show you how people be screwing up. They be so slick to try to get you, and they screw up bad. Now, because you violate your due process, let's go there, when charges was brought up by labor relations for time and attendance, and this was caused by the probationary supervisor, the probationary hospital police director. While he was on probation, this was caused by him. Okay, now, the mere fact that you allow it to continue. Now, let me explain this. The first action was where he violated corporate compliance policy, and then he violated vehicle traffic law, and then violating the vehicle traffic law, he violated the penal law. Penal law would be, what's that? 120.20. Reckless endangerment. Under traffic law, 12.12. Reckless driving. All right? You violate your corporate compliance policy. That would be a rule or regulation, right? And that, other than violating your corporate compliance policy, you violate a traffic law, a penal law. What's up there, Charles Moore? Coach Moore, what's happening, baby? What's happening? You know, another city employee, he knows if I'm wrong, shut me down. Shut me down, coach. All right? You're senior to me, one of the big brothers from the hook. If I'm wrong, shut me down, all right? Like I said, he violated the corporate compliance policy. That would be under rule or regulation. He violated traffic law 1212, right? He violated the employee penal law code 12020 under reckless endangerment. He did cut me off and kept me held, keep me from going out, and started to interrogate me under intimidation while I was off the clock. So that would be 13560 under threat and coercion by intimidation, which is also a violation of the corporate compliance policy under intimidation and retaliation. Now, I like the way it says intimidation and retaliation, because you retaliated on my return, which would be the second level. The second level. Upon return for duty for the next day, that's when you told them, oh, don't let him in the park his vehicle in his assigned employees paid parking lot, undersigned contract agreement. So you breaching this contract, right? Let's move forward. We get past that. So with those two actions, A and B, once you tell the EEO, that would constitute under subsection 75, since they want to bring you up on time and attendance charges, that was under subsection 75 for incompetency or misconduct. The act is misconduct. What is it? Time and leave. But this was caused by the probationary hospital police director, right? Yes. And the key fact that the officer reported to the EEO and to supervision the act of intimidation and violation of corporate compliance policy, as well as rules, regulations, and laws. Right. So that would kick in under subsection 75B automatically, whistleblowers protection. Now, we already talked about this. We already discussed this. Now, you go ahead and you proceed with labor relations, and labor relations brings up these charges, these fraudulent charges, and they suspend the officer. Would that be an adverse action? Adverse action. Any federal law, state law, local law, rule, regulation, or law. The mere fact that the officer went outside and filed a complaint with an outside governmental body, New York State Division of Human Rights. Under New York State Division of Human Rights, they have 180 days to go over your case. All right, to make a decision within that 180 days. I want you to look at that window. That window is 180 days. But there's a smaller window. The smaller window is the window of what we call 60 days. It used to be 45. It's now 60 days. All right, for them to make a decision on, is this valid? Are we going to roll with this? If they can't come up with a cause for their actions, what's up, Cotton? How you doing, mama? All right, they got another one with a degree, with some brains. Cotton, if I'm wrong, shut me down. All right, if I'm wrong, shut me down. Put it out there, and I will shut up. Now I'm gonna say it again. Under the New York State Division of Human Rights, you have 180 days. All right? You put in your complaint. They have 180 days to find out if it's doable. You know what I'm saying? If they don't have any probable cause, within 60 days, they're supposed to dismiss the case, and then they forward your information. Or also, they're supposed to forward your information to EEOC. Let me show you the breakdown and the structure of due process. Information was never forwarded to EEOC because the bigwig said, let it drop. Let it drop. I'm good you said let it drop. See, the thing about what my argument is a contract. Anything you write is a contract. Anything you write. Like my man's stuff right here that I still got. I still got his stuff right here. I still got his case right here. I done went through it, ripped it up in the whole 9 yards. Got it. which they violated due process like a motherfucker in that case. So, like I said, the mere fact that you violated due process in the whole 9 yards, that makes it subject to cause of action. Suit. Now, we look at the fact of how they delayed, got New York State Division of Human Rights, hold off on that, hold off on that, and delay it. We're going to delay it past the whistleblowers will be, and one is 2 years, and the other is 3 years. Ain't going nowhere. Did you deprive me of a right? I believe so. So to deprive me of a right, or to deprive any person of a right or privilege, would not fall under, I like to call that Jackie Robinson, but that U.S. Code 42, deprivation of a right or privilege. You deprived that person of that, yes. Now, let's go with the next one. Was there any act of retaliation? If there was an act of retaliation, we're going to move up to U.S. Code 42, but we're going to go to subsection 12203. Greg, Younger Nut, what's up, baby? How you doing? Much love. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go to 102, subsection 12203. That's 12203 under U.S. Code 42. And that would be with them using an act of retaliation within their governmental actions. Okay, where I got the powers, I could do this, which is still a violation of your corporate compliance policy. Now, once you hit U.S. Code 42, there's no statute of limitations. So I just had to come on here real quick and just throw it out there how you breached your contract. You breached your contract by not following through the facility EEO, because you're under obligation under, what's that, Mayor Order, Executive Order number 16. When somebody reports themselves to you in the whole 9 yards, you are obligated. You are obligated in your employment. So the key thing is, since you were obligated in your key employment, how did you get away with not doing what you're supposed to do and passing that information on to the facility's corporate compliance officer, yet you got a parachute to go to another facility? Then you got a second parachute to be in the key position in that facility. You broke the law. Period. You broke the law. Yeah. That law would be, like I said, you violate Mayor Order number 16. You know what I'm saying? You did violate that. If it's not a law, you did violate that. And that should be subject to this. It says it on it, subject to removal. How did you move on? Especially when you cause somebody hardship and harm. This would be under deliberate indifference. There is no parachute. There is no safeguards when you didn't follow the due process procedure. Okay, granted, the senior vice president is your buddy, but the senior vice president works for who? The city of New York. Period. These people are incredible, man. You work for a corporation, and the corporation is under the corporation of the city of New York, and you violate that. And then you do all these deceptive practices. And they say, oh, it's not deceptive practice. This individual did more than 50 people. And you all participated in these illegal activities of his that did more than 50 people. Like I said, if he did only 50 people, we're talking about if each person had just one significant other, we're talking about 100 people. If they had a family of 4, we're talking about 200 people. Am I correct? No, because it's 50 people, one person, we up to 100. I've been saying it wrong all the time. So if it's 4 people, we up to what? 400 people? 400 people. I was saying that math wrong, wasn't I? Slipped. You know, so you gotta figure that. 400 people affected by cumulative effects, individual under their deceptive practices. And the key thing is what I gotta go with. What I gotta go with is how did you get to if the corporate compliance if the governmental as far as the New York State Division of Human Rights complaint was filed before you got the 40 rector, yes, and still 180 days, yes, and the EEO didn't send out their rebuttal until somewhat like September, yes. How do you get to use adverse action as far as termination by October? Breach of contract right there. You didn't even wait the 180 days. We're just going to go do what we want to do. Okay? We're just going to go do what we want to do. So you breached the contract again. Why? You took adverse actions. Thomas Pacheco, baby. How you doing? How you doing? So sorry for dad, man. So sorry for dad. You know, like I said once before, your dad is our dad. You know what I'm saying? Love him, love him, love him. God bless him. God bless him. You know, stay strong for the family. Stay strong for the family. All right? You got to stay strong. Take care of mom. Take care of moms, no matter what. All right? Yeah. So if you violated the due process by entering a contract with fraudulent information, you do know a contract entered in fraud is void. So when I say the contract, your affidavit that you took down to 40 Rector, with all that fraudulent stuff, that's in void. That's in void. Your termination letter, by taking adverse actions, has opened up the cause of action for suit. And we're going to go under section, we're going to go to U.S. Code 42. Take it to the federal level. Because of your malicious, cruel and malicious actions with deliberate intent under deceptive practices. And deliberate, what's that? Indifference. We're going to cover for this guy, the probationary guy. We're going to cover for this probationary guy, and we're going to do a civil servant. So I guess, you know, the civil servant is nothing. And I don't want to play the race card. I don't want to play the race card because the race card is too simple. It's very simple. You know, I had a supervisor who told me, he said, what happened to you will fall under biased actions. How can you be biased? I want you to understand this. All right? Because if you read the Constitution under citizen, and it says under the citizenship, or they changed it, yada, 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 that only white people are citizens. Now, you got to understand, when did they make up citizen? They made that up in the 1600s. I mean, white people, they made that up in the 1600s. All right? But as far as black does not count for the Aboriginal people only. That counts for any other race, which is actually fraud because there's only one race, the human race. But it counts for any other ethnic background, any other culture. So if you're Asian, you're black. If you're Latino, you're black. And there's many different spectrums of the Latino family. All right. Someone will say, oh, I'm Spanish. No, you're not. No, you aren't. Why? Because the Spaniards they see a different light towards our Latino brothers and sisters. They don't consider them Spanish. They consider them Latino. You know what it is. I'm not going to push the issue. I'm not going to say nothing disrespectful. I have no hate towards nobody. I have no hate. But getting back to the matter at hand, for those of you to step out of bounds, as such as these individuals who, well, we're going to work together to save this individual, such as the probationary employee, hospital police director. You know, we're going to work with him because It really goes to show about there was an individual who was an instructor who was you would say black, I would say aboriginal, because black is saying that you under civil motus that you have no rights, you're in dead state. You can look it up. It's in Black's Law Dictionary. So I was going to say the other individual, he's aboriginal, Morris descent. I'm going to tell him. I'm going to explain that you're Morris descent. And he put in for the position. And he had the rank of lieutenant. And he wondered why he wasn't picked up, but yet and still this other one was picked up under cronyism. Hire a friend by a friend for a favor, and it's there. Then you got to clean up all the stuff because of what he's done in violation of your corporate compliance. We're going to sweep this under the rug. Your rug has been overturned. The vacuum is now on and it's sucking out all that dirt and has now been tossed over and placed in front of you. Oh, what a tangle web we weave when we first practice to deceive. I'm just going to say that because, as my boy says, that troublemaker, the facts cannot be altered nor denied. And I'm out. You guys have a wonderful Super Bowl Sunday, and I'll holler at you later.